back to the Fin Factor. I'm Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And this is our live show. This is the pre-shoot for episode
80.
So we had a little bit of a problem with episode 79. The metadata wasn't done for the podcast. So that is going up. If anybody here listens to the podcast, you happen to be watching us live. First of all, thank you for chiming in on YouTube. I know if you guys are listening on podcasts, that's generally where you guys consume it. But episode 79 will be up on podcast for those who were hoping to hear that from last week. So there's that. We are back in studio tonight. Aaron's got the laptop out, ready to take on your comments and your questions. We had a couple pretty good games.
Well, more importantly, super producer Jason is back.
Oh, that too. You'll notice that we started the show with Aaron in the seat this time.
On time, sound good.
Yeah.
Me sound good.
There's me sound great. There's graphics. Yeah, it's a normal show.
Yes.
Back to normal. Feels good.
And normal is much better than normal within just us. So, oh gosh, there we have the super zoom back. Thanks to super producer Jason. Okay, so if we got some waiting in there, I know. Do we have any comments or questions?
Yes,
already?
there's two. One says hi and the other says hello.
Hi and hello to you two. The rest of you, whoever's waiting in there, how come you're not greeting us? What is this? This is garbage.
Well, this week we had 3 games, right?
I remember only 2 because it's the only 2 that I want to remember.
In Philly, lost 4-2.
Yeah.
And then the Devils were here.
Yes.
On Thursday. I think it was Thursday? Thursday.
Yeah.
That one was interesting. We were just talking about it before
Yeah.
this. They went to overtime, and if you can watch the whole overtime. The Sharks controlled the puck the entire time. They won the face-off, and the Devils never even touched it. It was kind of a mismatch because of who the Devils. I mean, they, to their credit, they traded a lot of their guys away anyway.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Hall's gone, and they had just traded Wayne Simmons. So they were kind of like the Sharks, bare bones
fair,
in a way.
Wayne Simmons wasn't really doing much for them if we recall
More
us talking about
I meant like a bigger body
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
guy, because you're filling him in with a guy
Sure.
who's coming in from the AHL who's tiny.
Sure, yeah.
Because they got a lot of younger prospects. But
Yeah.
it was a mismatch on the line. So they had Couture, Kane, and Burns out there.
Yeah.
Pretty large guys against, I don't even remember who was on for the Devils, but it was definitely a mismatch.
Right.
But it was great. An overtime win.
Yeah.
So
Can't argue with that. And the goal. The OT goal was phenomenal.
Man.
If you look, I mean, I credited Kane with a beautiful assist. Yes, Logan Couture scored the goal, but I mean, when you've got 2 Devils were on Kane, he kind of does this almost no look, I think, where he kind of wraps it with his hands and puts it right over to Couture. Couture basically had to tap it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful pass. Someone's taking notes during practice when Jumbo was passing out there. It was really good stuff. So congrats to Logan Couture on that one. But again, for me, the player of that overtime, Vander Kane, making a really beautiful pass.
Scott K. What a beautiful shutout. Go moving to the next game.
There you go. Yeah.
Pittsburgh Penguins, which, granted, that was their 6th loss in a row.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprised me a little bit for this team that has Malkin and Crosby, but and Patty Marleau now.
And Patty Marleau.
But they should be in the playoffs. I mean, last year they were kind of a bubble playoff team anyway. They barely made it in. I bet it'll probably be almost the same thing this year. Probably depends on their health and whatnot, and if they get off their losing streak. I would think that they're still going to make playoffs. It's probably going to be close between them. I think the Islanders are the other team that's right behind them in their own division. But they should at least be good enough to make the wild card. But anyway, good for the Sharks to not, I guess, take their foot off the gas or let a team that is in the dumps come back and use that as a motivational win to get back on the winning track. So they continued their losing streak and made it to 6. And Jones, 30 saves and a shutout.
Yeah.
That's his 2nd of the season. Now, for those keeping score, Jones has 2 shutouts and Dell has 0.
Here we go.
Not that I'm saying, whatever. I'm just saying.
It's like if you're a parent, you can't say that one kid's better than the other one, though.
But we're not their parents,
No,
and I
no.
can say that because this is a hockey team. So, yes.
Yes.
Martin Jones is not a terrible goalie that everyone makes it out to be.
I'm agreeing with you here. Also, again, there was that article from Kurz, which I honestly didn't even read the whole thing, but the gist of the article was that there were many, many games that Martin Jones has played in his career, more so than any other goaltender in the league from a certain point to now, right? And maybe just that many games had kind of caught up with him, and he was just exhausted. I'm not sure how much exactly I buy into that. They do have like an off season and whatnot that they can deal with now. Obviously, Jones' off season was a lot shorter than most other goaltenders because they went pretty far in the playoffs. But having said that, maybe there's some weight to that. Maybe that playing that many games is just finally kind of taking its toll on the guy, and he just needed some time off. He's got some time off. He's been able to work a little more exclusively with Evgeny Nabokov, goaltending coach, and it looks like it might be paying off for him. So hopefully this is the signs of kind of like the resurgence of Jones. People want him gone and traded. First of all, you can't trade a guy who's not good, right? Nobody's going to want a guy if he's not good. So saying let's trade him, you can't do that. And he's got a no-move clause anyway, right? So
limited. So I think he has a list of teams or 3 teams or something. But you can't buy him out either. Like we looked into that, what it would actually cost, and it was like they're not saving that much salary. It's not worth it to do it.
So I mean, again, for me, maybe hopefully this is kind of a sign that he's kind of getting back to form. And it's kind of weird because my whole thing for a good majority of the season was the Sharks aren't playing very good defense in front of them. I think they're doing a better job of that, yes, now. But it's also kind of funny how you lose some guys that were key to that defense, right?
It's interesting. You lose Dellin in the trade, and Carlson's out.
Yeah.
So
Carlson, our theory on Carlson being out, and maybe that's kind of helping, is that you've got 2 highly offensive blue liners, and both of them are getting lots of giveaways, essentially, right? They're giving the puck away in the zone.
They're both making home run passes, and they get picked off.
But see, and again, we've looked at the stat before. If you look at that stat, it's all these high caliber defensemen that have lots of giveaways, and that's just part of what comes with that position because that's their goal, is to make these a little more risky passes to get the puck up and out and get an offensive chance, right? So you see them doing that more often, and therefore some of them get picked off more often, and that's why those types of defensemen have more giveaways. So maybe with Erik Karlsson being out, there's only one guy who's really coughing up the puck on those home run attempts, and maybe that's helping them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I think
who knows?
That's why I think we should trade Burns in the offseason. Anyway,
controversial.
Aaron's gonna get traded.
Anthony Sanchez, any word on Middleton? Did he break his ankle? That I do not know.
I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I mean, we're not insiders. We're fans just like you guys. So if you saw something on Twitter, it'd be the same thing that we would see, or whatever the case may be.
Brutal luck, though, man. That guy.
Yeah.
Just can't stay healthy.
You know what? This team.
Yeah.
This is brutal luck for this team. I mean, think about it, right? You got your top 3 essentially point guys in Couture, Hurdle, and Erik Karlsson. All of them go down. Melker Karlsson, one of your best penalty killers, goes down. Then you've got your fill-in defenseman in Middleton, goes down. Like, we can't catch a break. Or maybe we're catching too many breaks, put it that way, right?
I think it's catching up just over the couple years. We haven't really had that much injury.
We're due.
Bad luck.
You're saying we're due.
I mean, due, sure, but that just means that those guys have all played more games than most of everyone else because they haven't been hurt. And now you're starting to see the effects of that.
Yeah.
Zach Croft, with that awesome performance against the Penguins, do you think the Sharks can beat the Leafs at home on Tuesday? Yes.
Yeah.
The Leafs are kind of also in a free fall, in a way. They haven't been putting it together. I mean, they lost to a Zamboni driver. You saw that, right? That was last week or 2 weeks ago now?
I think the whole world saw that.
Yeah. And now, because it was the Leafs and the Leafs lost, the NHL is going to look into changing the rule about having backup goalies come in. Because it was their own backup goalie. It was in Toronto.
Yeah, no,
it was the guy that is the third goalie at their practice all the time.
It's the Zamboni driver for the Toronto Marlies.
No, I understand. He had done Zamboni driving. It just sounds better that it was the Zamboni driver.
Yeah.
But he is their practice goalie.
Right.
So it's not like he doesn't see these shots all the time. Right?
The kids that scrape the ice will be the next goal scorers here.
Ice Girls or whatever, right?
Ice Girls?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the actual name or not.
Ice Girls. There's some guys in there, too.
Yeah, there's a guy out there. Or a couple guys. I don't know. Anyway, it's to me, it's silly. It's for a very niche situation.
Exactly.
And it's not an NHL goaltender. Like anybody that you throw in there.
But look at the press this got worldwide.
Yes.
That this guy came in and won a game.
Yeah.
That'd be like someone coming in and skating and scoring a goal almost. Like, this is probably better than that.
Yeah.
He gets, I don't think he got the win. I can't remember how.
Pretty sure
Did he get the win?
Pretty sure he got the win.
Because they already had the lead, didn't they? Or were they tied? No, I think he already had the lead. So I don't know
But I think he let in enough goals because he let in a couple goals.
He let in 2, his first 2 shots.
So I think he gets the. You guys check us on that. Did he actually get the W or not? I really don't know. So maybe throw that in the comments if you guys were paying attention. Appreciate that.
But anyway, it's good press for the whole league, and of course now the league is saying, "Oh, we should squash it." Like, come on! It's such a feel-good story, and so rare that a backup goal or a emergency backup goalie. First of all, emergency backup goalie has to come in.
Even gets used,
right? And then getting used is even more rare, and then actually getting playing time and getting a win, and like it's super rare. So don't mess with the NHL. Just keep it as is and wait for these stories to come out every 10, 15 years.
I think if the league's looking to get more eyes on them and everything. Well, I mean, anything and everything. There's no bad press, right? I mean,
can you imagine if the Sharks are playing against them and they couldn't score?
Yeah,
everyone would be like, "That's it. Doug Wilson should be fired. Blow up the team. This is awful.
Put in our Zamboni driver."
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I'm sure some people wanted to the way Martin Jones was losing all these games or anything. Just put the Zamboni driver in.
I mean, most of it was the way the Canes were playing. They completely didn't let Toronto really have any chances. They just shut them out completely.
And again, for me, that's what it comes down to. Puck possession.
They had to work harder.
Yeah.
Because they knew their goalie was not a goalie.
Which to me, again, if you can work harder when you don't have a good goalie in net, why can't you work harder when you have a decent goalie in net or a great goalie in net, right? Now, maybe that's not sustainable over 82 games, sure.
He's the first one to get a win as an emergency backup goalie.
He did get a win.
He did get the win. That was from Christopher Lindsay. Thanks,
I know
Chris.
Scott Foster jumped in and they won with him in net, but he didn't get the win. The other goalie that got injured got the win.
So it was 3-1 when Ayers he got scored on twice, and then they came back and scored 3 more goals.
Right.
So it was 3-3.
So he let in a couple goals so he can get the win.
Right. Yeah, he did it on purpose.
Yeah, totally.
Did you see the story about his wife that was there?
Yeah.
She was at the game, and she was...
the beer. She doesn't drink, but she had like half a beer, so she chugged like half a beer so that she could like take the nerves off or something.
Well, no, 3 people went and bought her beers.
Oh, okay.
Because they all knew it was her husband that got called up, but she was like, "Oh my god," she was on the edge of her seat.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool story. You should read that. That was on. I think that was on The Athletic.
Probably.
All right, moving on. Anthony Sanchez, what do you guys think of Couture's goal song? Did you hear what it was?
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal. I
Awesome.
love it.
He's probably trolling.
And I love the story, but no, it's not. The story behind it is that his girlfriend picked it out.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that. I love that she was like, "No, this is going to be your goal song." He was like, "Yes, dear. Let's do that."
That, or he's just like, "I don't care." She's like, "Oh, I'm going to pick it for you." And he's like, "I don't care." Okay, it's girls want to have fun. Oh, I already said I don't care. All right, fine.
Jumbo, by the way, scoring off the skate, they couldn't tell if it was him or not. So his song did not play. Apparently, he does have a song, according to Sheng Peng, but it just did not play. So,
but they won't say what it is.
He won't say what it is. So Jumbo got his goal here, and it's getting late in the season. I don't know if we're going to hear his goal song.
I know.
I'm a little bummed. I want to hear it. I want to know what it is. What do you think it is?
I think it should be Old Man from Neil Young.
Okay. Actually,
old man, take a look at my life.
That's as many bars as you can
Oh,
say.
sorry. Copyright.
He said da 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 at the end, so it's okay. You guys let us know in the comments what you think Joe Thornton's goal song should be.
What would your goal song be?
My goal song would be Almost Anything by Andrew WK. Pretty much.
Why did I
would go with...
They all sound the same.
Exactly. That's why I said Almost Anything.
You could change it up every goal and nobody would notice.
Yes, nobody would notice things.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. No, It's Time to Party is a great one.
Let's get the party started.
No, that's... Yeah, Party Hard.
Sorry.
It's Time to Party.
Party is in every title?
There's called Party Party Party. Actually, there is a song called that. No, that's what I would go with. So, and in fact, so after you've guessed Joe Thornton's, why don't you put what yours would be and see if it's you got a good one in there too. Anyway, fire away.
Sorry, I was.
He doesn't know where we are.
Yeah.
That's our show now.
I got
I got one on the screen for you.
Can you put that on the screen?
Michael Iadarola. Does EK9, as Kane, lose his mind when the league doesn't punish Shimmick for shoving the linesman?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw something saying that, what do you call it, Kane would get 3 games for Shimmick shove.
Yeah.
Lose his mind? I don't think lose his mind, but I think he certainly takes notice. I think He doesn't ask for Šimić to get any sort of discipline, right? But
It
I think
proves
he
his
certainly
point, right?
Exactly. I think it certainly proves his point. I think it certainly does stand out to him that anybody, even if his own teammate does it, well, why is it different when he does it? The only thing I can think of is that Šimić was not looking at the ref at all. He had his eyes locked on the other guy, whoever that was, and the ref came up to him, and I'm not sure if he even recognized that it was the referee. Now, that doesn't excuse it, and if it was any other player, again, I'd be saying the same thing that probably came to be saying is that guy should get suspended, right? I mean, he abuse of an official. He did shove the ref. Doesn't matter if you know it's him or not. So I can understand that. Now, I don't think Kane goes out of his way to like tweet about it and say, well, why isn't Šimić getting any supplemental discipline? But I think he certainly makes a mental note that that's another time where he did the same thing that somebody else did. He got punished. Somebody else didn't.
More fuel to the fire, basically.
Yeah, even if it was a teammate. Yeah.
Right. Andres Madrigal. What's up, fellas? Have you guys heard any rumors of the new logo or a logo change for the Sharks this upcoming offseason? What are your thoughts on a new logo for the Sharks? Go Sharks and go Quakes.
Which logo are you looking for?
Let's do that one.
You want to do that?
No. I think the leaping shark. I like that one, and I think that eventually.
You've heard that one for a while. That was supposed to be coming, right?
I've been saying that I feel like that's the one that's going to be the next iteration.
Because they were pushing it for a while. Like,
So when they had.
do we have an example of what you're even?
No, I don't have one actually. Oh, you know what? This right here, underneath the. We'll call it beanie because that's what it is. On there, it's that shark, but it's the leaping shark version of that, which I do not see.
No, this
anywhere.
isn't it.
No, it's that one. No.
Kind of like that without the SJ.
Yeah, I don't
Right
see
here,
it
right here.
anywhere. Okay, kind of like that. Yeah, so I can see kind of like that, and the lighting is
glare
kind
out
of
of there.
Yeah, there you go.
You take out the SJ. It's kind of just it's a shark and it has its tail because the shark's logo doesn't have a tail, or the normal logo. I mean,
Right.
Like the.
Because the tail's like back inside the triangle. There.
Right.
Let's put this back on. Yep. So yeah, I could definitely see that being the new Sharks logo. Not anytime soon or anything, but if they were to go with a change of logos,
I would think it would be
definitely
more
see
like
that.
a third jersey option.
That could be.
Because I did see that the someone posted on Twitter that, or I guess the Sharks posted on Twitter, it was 40% off for stealth jerseys when they wear them that night in the arena.
Nice.
So anytime you're in the arena and they're wearing their stealth, I think it's Thursday nights they always wear them.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
It's 40% off on all stealth gear. So if you want to get some stealth gear, that's a good time to go.
Perfect.
So that was like the rumor of like, oh, looks like they're trying to move it because they're going to have a new one next year.
I think it's more that the Sharks aren't doing well, and when the Sharks aren't doing well, merchandise doesn't do well.
That's true.
So they're just trying to move some merchandise, I think is all it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rooster by Allison Chain should be Jumbo's. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Oh, I like that. Nice job. Who said that? Shout him
That
out.
was Christopher Lindsay.
Way to go. Love that one. There it
Deuces
is.
Shoeless says, I bet Jumbo has rap.
Yeah. He had, I forgot what video it was. It was like, do you know Jumbo? Who knows Jumbo best? And right at the, in there, he was asking who the favorite band is. And I can't remember who he said now, but.
Deuces said he used to play Mo Bamba in the locker room daily. I don't know what that is.
Mo Bamba?
I'm not one of the cool kids.
Maybe he meant La Bamba? Like, para bailar La Bamba?
I don't know.
Go ahead, next.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Goal song, Basket Case, Green Day. That's not bad. Do you think Dell stays in San Jose from Angelo Nunes? I don't think so. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening because I think he's going to want to test the free agency market. I think the Sharks are kind of married to Jones unless Jones somehow gets moved this offseason. I just don't see that happening. I don't see the Sharks giving Dell enough money to stay. I think another team will come in and give more money, and the Sharks will be like, I mean, at that point, he's a UFA anyway, so I just don't think that they're going to want to give him what he wants. He probably wants a long-term deal, 3 years, 2-3 years as a starter, or in a situation where he could become the starter. Like if he goes to Chicago and Crawford's playing, right?
Here's a situation where he can become the starter. When is Seattle doing their draft?
A year from now.
Not this season, the next, right? Okay. So if you give Aaron Dell another like 1 year contract, kind of the same type of thing that you did with LeBanc, only better money than LeBanc. I could definitely see kind of a handshake deal where it's like, okay, if you're outperforming Jones, we will do everything in our power to get Seattle to take Jones and pay you the money that you deserve to be a number one, and you can be a number one with us. Remember, changing teams means picking up your life and moving, right? Now, I don't know if Dell's got...
He's married.
He's married. I don't know if he has kids or anything, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
That makes it that much more difficult, changing schools and everything else. But
that's part of the job. I don't think it's that difficult.
Well, maybe.
Because it's in the offseason. It's not like he's getting traded. That's worse.
Yeah.
It's worse when you get traded at the deadline in February and your kids are in school.
Yeah. No, okay, but I guess my point being is that's a scenario where he stays with the Sharks because of a promise, right? Where, look, if you're outperforming Jones and you're taking the number one, we're going to push him as hard as we can to Seattle.
Is he outperforming him in the last 2 weeks?
No. I'm just saying this is a scenario where we say if you're not, then we'll do everything in our power to trade you to a contender.
I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Okay.
I think the Sharks are going to address other issues than their backup goaltender, and they're going to want to move guys in the pipeline up.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect opportunity to do it. Not spend any money and bring up one of the guys from the AHL and give it to Jones and let him roll with it.
Do you think the AHL goalies, any of them, is ready to back up?
Sure.
Okay. No, I like that answer, honestly.
Yeah.
And I do. And here's why. A lot of people go, oh, look at those goalies in the AHL. We're not winning games, first of all. Their save percentage sucks, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you also have to look at what defense is playing with them, right?
You've also yanked half of the Barracuda that are worth anything off of the Barracuda. So you're not even playing with AHL players in the AHL anymore. Now you're playing with guys that are fringe AHL players kind of stepping in, right? Or guys that would have been scratched, and now they're getting some time, which hopefully they make the best of their time. But, now, again, like a Middleton, right? He gets called up. Well, now he's not playing with the Sharks, but he's not playing down either. So he's nowhere right now, which, again, is a huge bummer for him.
Yep.
And it's just one more guy that we're going to have to pull up. Davidson is going to be playing with the Sharks now, presumably, right? So that's just one more guy that they can't use in the AHL.
Right.
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for those guys to defend and play well as a unit when half of your team or half of those top level guys aren't even there anymore. So it's going to be tough going for them. Now, how does that translate to goaltending? Same thing I've been saying all season, right? If you don't have good unit in front of you, how are you supposed to do a good job tending the pipes? Like, you can't. If they're making cross creases on you, you can't slide across every single time and make spectacular save every single time. So I think you're probably right. I think if those guys step into the NHL and they're used to having really rad defense in front of them and they're getting decent defense in front of them, who knows? They might shine a little bit.
I think it's more of a budget cap issue than anything else. Thank you, Edgar Veloz, for the $5. Hello from Anaheim. Just tuned in. Question: what's your opinion on the performance of all the rookies so far after all the injuries? I think they're all playing for a roster spot for next season because this season is definitely done. They're not going to be making playoffs. Right. So they kind of have more motivation right now to really work their tails off, and I think they have been. I think Gambrell's improved since the beginning of the season. I think not so much LeBanc. Ferraro is probably the biggest, brightest spot on this team for this year. Like the only bright thing that happened this season.
Before you continue, what am I about to say?
About?
You're always pooping on LeBanc.
Oh, me? Yeah.
Why?
Because I was hoping for bigger things.
Okay, that's good.
I was hoping for him to step into that top six role better than he has. And it's less about the offense and more about the 200-foot game.
And I was too. I think realistically we kind of knew that he probably wasn't going to, right? Yeah. We were hopeful, and we knew that he was saying all the right things, and Doug Wilson was giving him that opportunity to do the right thing. But in the back of my mind, I'm going, this guy is not going to live up to all the promises he's trying to make right now.
He's pigeonholing himself into a third liner as a top line power play specialist, and that's it. Yeah, and that's unfortunate because I wanted more out of him.
Serviceable, yes, but he could be a much better player, I think.
Yep.
But again, what round was he picked in? Sixth?
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you want from a guy that was picked in the third or sixth round to be on the third line and to be on your top power play unit and to be considered elite on the power play by the former coach?
Right.
That's pretty good.
What do you think about Noah Gregor?
I haven't seen enough of him, really. I mean, I've seen a little bit here and there, which is great, and he scored that goal the other night, which is awesome. But
he's got 3 points in 24 games.
yeah,
Not enough. Alexander True, I think, has been getting better. I think he's played in the last 2 weeks. He's played better than he has.
So let me put it this way. I like Gregor's game, even points aside. I like his game. I haven't seen really enough of it. I've been focusing on other aspects. Alex True is another guy that I've looked at more, not like
he's
super
got
in-depth. But
4 assists in 11 games.
Yeah.
So he's contributing.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, he's not blowing things out of the water, but he's not 3 points in 24 games.
Yeah.
He's doing something.
No, I like True. I like his play. He's physical. He's a big guy. He gets in the lanes. I think he was, I forget who he was playing with on the line, but I mean, they were pushing the pace. They were kind of dominating in the offensive zone. They were doing a really good job cycling. I see him at practice. He looks really good in practice too. Like he's focused. He's ready to rock. I like Alex True, and I'm glad they brought him up.
All right, going back to Jack Frost. What do you think? What do you all think? Jonathan Dahlin, will he be on the team next season? No, I don't think he's going to be on the Sharks unless he completely has a fantastic camp and blows everyone else out of the water. What I'd like to see is him coming back at least across the pond, because right now he's back in his native Sweden. I think it's Sweden. It's probably Switzerland, because I always get that wrong. But having him come back and playing at least in the AHL next season, he kind of bolted because there was too much, not enough playing time going around.
Right.
I think he's one of our toppers. Prospects.
He's a topper.
Prospects. Oh, it's been a long day. I think he's one of the best ones, and obviously I have his father's jersey hanging right behind me. He was one of my favorite players, so it was really cool. I was really happy that the Sharks actually traded for him with Vancouver to kind of give him a new opportunity, and I think the Sharks could absolutely use him.
Yeah. No, I'd love to see. I'm very interested in seeing how he does in the next camp. You know, when he comes in, and I'm hoping again I get to sit through a lot of that too, because I got the opportunity this season to kind of sit and watch some of the camp stuff. Mm-hmm. So if I get that opportunity again, absolutely, I'll be hanging out there in the bleachers and checking him out. But I'm definitely very excited to see him hopefully coming in, making his mark. And the other guys too, a lot of the guys that I was hoping would step up and grab a position, I'm hoping that they take another step forward during the off season in terms of their training, and when they come back, having a really good camp. I know Alex True is going to be one of those guys that's like, hey, you've seen what I can do. Now let me actually impress you here, because this camp, he didn't have a very good camp, and it stuck him in the NHL.
The other thing is these guys are now playing in the NHL, and they're getting a real true taste. So if they come back next season, they know what it takes already.
Yep.
They go, okay, I need to really bust my butt in the off season. They're probably going to come back very motivated to earn that roster spot even more. So it is I guess you could say a good thing. The bright spot on this season being a throwaway season is you get to really give those guys an opportunity to see what it takes to stay in the NHL and come back stronger next year.
Yeah.
Anthony Sanchez, anybody see the Ryan Reeves got destroyed against Buffalo?
The reverse hit.
If not, it was awesome. Go YouTube it. I did see it. Wasn't an elbow. The guy it was Ristolainen, I think.
Ristolainen, yeah.
And he's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's kind of wiry. He doesn't look like he's super strong, but he's huge.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reeves came in, for those who didn't see it, Ryan Reeves came in, I think Ristolainen dumped the puck in at the blue line, and Reeves was coming at him.
Coming to hit him.
And Ristolainen you could see him drop all of his weight to his front and drop his shoulder, and Reeves just bounced off of him like he hit a brick wall. And was stunned, like he was stunned on the ice.
Yeah.
I almost think he might have gotten a concussion, like he kind of was dazed a little bit.
Wobbly,
but, yeah, he was a little wobbly, but it was fantastic. It's great to see, because I am not a Ryan Reeves fan.
I think he might have got a concussion. He was a little wobbly. It was fantastic.
I don't want him to get hurt. It's more of like a taste of his own medicine. Basically.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that was great. That's fantastic. You should go look at it if you haven't seen it. Angelo Nunez, I'm trying to catch up here. Sorry. Is it me, or does Timo Meier seem to be disappearing on games a lot this year? I mean, he did have a goal and assist last night, but that clock is staying down for a reason.
Okay.
I think, because I agree with you. I agree. He is not quite there, although he is a power forward. Power forwards generally take longer to kind of develop and really be at the top of their game. So don't be surprised if he's kind of like Tomas Hertl a little bit. Took him an extra year or two to really be dominant.
Yeah.
So I would think hopefully next year he's going to be better than he was this year. More consistent is the problem. His consistency is the problem. He's not there every night. He does take nights off.
Yeah, no, and for me, it's not just the goal scoring, right?
Right.
It's the play. Sometimes he takes a night off here and there, right? And I know Kyle's banging on his keyboard right now, but no, there are times where he's invisible, right? And I can understand that. Everybody has nights like that, but it just seems too often. It's not few and far between. It just seems fairly often that it happens. Now the goal scoring, and I've said this a few times now, with the goal scoring, oh, he's streaky goal scorer. Name one goal scorer that isn't streaky, okay? Because again, like an Alex Ovechkin, 42 goals, 44 goals, whatever it is on the season.
But it's less about the goal scoring and more about the 200-foot game.
That's what I'm getting. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that is the issue. I'm not saying because people want to say he's streaky, and everyone's streaky. Again, even Ovechkin, right? If he's got 44 goals in however 60-something games. That's phenomenal. But there are nights where he gets a hat trick, and that means there's a couple nights in a row, like 3-4 nights in a row, where he doesn't score a goal, right? So I don't know. To say somebody is streaky, it's just.
Duh.
In terms of goals, yeah, it's because sometimes they're gonna. I mean, if you had a guy that scores a goal every single night, I mean, that's the definition of not being streaky. That's the definition of consistent, right?
Right.
Nobody does that.
Going back to the jersey thing
about
next season, Anthony Sanchez says the Sharks will be bringing back the original logo jersey, the original logo, and original jersey next year for the 30th anniversary.
This one.
That's the one you're talking about.
I was saying this one, but anyway.
Yeah, I can see that.
The Leaping Shark one.
No,
but you're saying that one, yeah.
The OG,
yeah.
This one, and you got it behind you too in the white.
Yes.
Now, what I would like, and this isn't going to happen, is for the home whites to come back.
No.
I think it just looks so much cleaner and better. Not a fan, whatever. Caretaker wanted, do you think Doug Wilson will trade the first pick for a top 6 player? I think it's an option. I don't think it's a guarantee. Depends on what the offer is, but I don't think he would hesitate to trade that if it was a top 6 player coming back.
I think he takes a look at the players that are going to be available when he's got that pick, and he thinks to himself, is this player as sure a bet as the top 6 guy that you're talking about?
Probably not.
And if it's not, probably on the move, right? So, I mean, depending on what that other team wants for it. If the other team wants just a first rounder, okay. If they want something more, well, then you got to weigh your options with those other assets, obviously. So,
right.
And he said this many times. Yes, it's assets, it's things, it's currency, right? We don't have to use the pick. We can use it for something else. So I think he's almost preparing the fan base for the fact that we're probably not picking in the first round, right?
I just think
we're gonna pick a veteran, you know.
What I think he's going to do is package some of those picks and move up into the draft and pick someone in a higher slot.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm not sure how much higher you're going to get by packaging a first with a second.
Close to like top 10, like number 10-ish.
Yeah. I could see that.
Not top 5.
No, absolutely.
No, I think getting close 10 to 12 range.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. If Tampa Bay bows out immediately, then I think you package the first with a second, and maybe you can get closer to like the 10th, right?
Right.
But if Tampa Bay goes and wins it all, there's no way you're packaging a 31st pick with whatever the second's going to be and try to get up into the top 10. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, Logan Couture was 9th overall in the 07 draft, and the Sharks traded up to get him.
Yeah.
Because they saw him there. They said, oh, we have an opportunity to trade up to him.
What did they trade to get it?
That's what I'm trying to look up real quick.
Thank you.
If I could do it really quick, we'll see.
In the meantime, radio silence.
They got it from St. Louis, so they made the trade with St. Louis.
Was it called ASMR? Where you just kind of rub the microphone and put people to sleep?
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, no? Okay. So producer Jason just, anytime somebody coughs or like his, the water bottle, when he turns the water bottle, it makes that sound.
Cracks his
him
knuckles.
nuts. Yeah. Did you got it figured out yet or no?
Okay, this is very interesting.
Okay. I can't
The
wait
Blues'
to
first round pick, it was Blues' original pick,
Yeah.
went to the Sharks as a result of a trade on June 22nd, 2007 that sent Toronto's first and second in 07 and third round pick to St. Louis for this pick. Catch all that?
No.
Toronto sent their first, second, and third round pick in St. Louis for St. Louis's first round pick.
Okay.
The Sharks traded to Toronto for that first round pick from St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
They traded them,
That's
Vesa Toskala and Mark Bell,
There you
to
go.
Toronto.
Huh?
Wait. This is really confusing. Forget it. This is going to be too
Toskala
hard to
and
break.
Bell for a first?
No, they traded to get... They got Toskala and Bell to
For
Toronto.
the first.
First. I don't know. That's too confusing, and I don't feel like breaking this down on the live. So, anyway, I do remember they traded up to get him. Is my point.
Okay.
So they do that a lot.
All
If they see a guy that they really like, they're going to make it happen.
Sure.
Anyway.
Do you think Kevin LeBanc could be part of that currency? Because his contract's expired, but he's still an RFA, so you could trade for the rights.
Could be, if somebody really wants him.
Yeah.
Phil Martins, your Jones to Seattle makes some sense, as Martin Jones would be playing very close to his home of North Vancouver, British Columbia. Yeah, but that doesn't really take into play. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's not like Jones would want to go play back close to home. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but a lot of these guys, they leave home at 14 years old, and they are living with a surrogate family.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're
Billet family. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like they're super close to their family. They're like, it's different. Like, I mean, not to say that they're not close to their family and they don't want to be home, but they're not going to go out of their way to make it happen. He's not going to do it, and he's not in any position really to make that happen either.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you on that one. That the hometown thing, I think, might be overplayed a little bit. I think, you know.
It's not like Seattle needs to sell season tickets. They already sold out like within an hour or something ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. They got a strong fan base.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Seattle's a really good fan base for all their sports teams.
Nice.
I mean, going to MLS, the Sounders play in the Seahawks Stadium.
Okay.
And I don't think they sell out, do they, Jay? They get pretty close, though.
Quakes or Seattle?
Seattle Sounders.
Definitely.
They sell out that?
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, that really skews the MLS attendance records, because it's like 60,000 people for that game.
Wow.
Whereas other stadiums, like the Quakes, hold 18,
right.
like the Sharks, right? So, anyway, Seattle's a very good fan base.
Nice.
And you get a lot of transplants coming from here now, from the Bay Area, going up there for work. So I bet there'll be some Sharks fans in attendance all the time. Kind of like Vegas had a bunch of Sharks fans, I think.
Yeah.
Did I mention I went to Vegas and saw Golden Knight license plates everywhere?
Yeah, that's like their license plate. You can buy the logo on the license plate.
And now they're doing that with the Raiders, but Oakland people are stealing them in Vegas.
I mean, honestly, the Vegas Knights were brilliant for getting a team before the Raiders moved there, because they can kind of claim that they're the first ever professional sports team in Vegas, and you get that fan base for a couple years before the Raiders come in.
Right.
If the Raiders came in and then the Knights came in, I don't think they would. I don't think it would be close.
I think it would be a little rough.
Because everyone would be spending all their money on Raiders tickets for the new stadium, and they wouldn't have enough money left over to go to Knights games. And the fact that the Knights went to the finals their first year is just
that
gonna
helps
make
a
it
lot.
even.
Yeah, for sure.
If they were awful and weren't winning, it would be a different story.
Yeah.
So they just had a bunch of things go well, but the fact that they were the only sports team in the town, I think, helped majorly. They also had some special rules in place that you couldn't sell your tickets to other teams or other team fans or something like that.
Yeah,
they really
weird.
tried to keep it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zach Croft, what needs to be the main focus in the offseason for the Sharks? Depth, I think. Like winger.
Main focus?
Main focus. Depth.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by depth?
They need 3
Give
lines.
me positions. What do you mean by depth?
Forward lines. I think their defense is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they traded Burns away, I think their defense would be okay. If they traded Burns just to free up cap space and to get a really big return coming back, let's just say it's not even a roster player. It's just a bunch of picks and prospects. You go in the free agency market and get one defenseman that could be number 5, 6 defenseman who could fill in for a top 4 or a number 4, right?
Yeah.
Someone like Brendan Dillon, but cheaper, basically.
Actually, I was thinking, you could probably get Brendan Dillon to come back if you're freeing up that cap space.
I don't.
One. No,
I don't think
you could. You could. Number 2. Who was I saying? I think it was the year 1 we did the show. Who was I saying? You replace one beard with another beard. A ginger beard.
Who's a ginger beard?
Jordy Ben?
Oh God, you're obsessed with that guy. Just because he was good for an NHL.
Because he made a lot of sense at the time. He made a lot of sense with the cap space and the beard.
Is he even playing right now?
I think so. He's got to be. He's not that old.
He's not that good.
Okay,
that's my point. He might not be in the NHL anymore. I think you get a. I don't know if Jumbo's coming back. That's part of the problem.
Right.
Part of the piece of the puzzle. If
He's
he comes back,
he's coming back.
That's a decent third line center.
Yeah.
I would almost get a real legit third line center and push him to the 4th line, Thornton. that solidifies you down the middle. If there's any injuries, you got someone that could cover. That would be good enough to cover and move up a line, basically. Because then you have Hurdle, Couture, UFA, and Thornton.
Well, okay, hear me out on this one. What if you have a guy that plays center and wing?
That's fine.
Right? That's what I mean. So, like Hurdle, right? Hurdle was playing center and wing, right?
Like Pavelski?
Or like Pavelski, right? Could play center and wing. So if a center went down, your winger just became your center and you moved a winger up, right?
Yeah.
Then you still had your center depth. So I think maybe that would be a good option, is getting a guy who can play both positions. Now, right wing obviously would be more desired because we're a little short-staffed on the right wing side. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, what are they going after? I think the first thing that they need to go after is not just like the depth players. We're talking about your top line scoring. I think they need one more guy who's a top line scorer, right? You pick that guy up, somebody who's reliable, not like a Kevin LeBanc where you have to worry about the 200-foot game. And I'm not saying he needs to go. I'm just saying you want a guy who's got a good 200-foot game, right? And let Kevin LeBanc do his own thing. That's fine. On the defensive side, I agree with you. I think we're pretty okay right now on defense. Even goaltending, I personally wouldn't worry so much. I know a lot of people are like, there's a problem in goaltending. You have to blow up the goaltenders. You have to go get somebody. You have to go get Hank Lundqvist.
I want
I'm
Leonard.
like, what?
I want Leonard.
Huh?
I think Robin Leonard would be a fantastic ad.
Yeah, of course,
If we don't sign Dell, we go out and get Leonard. Now you have a 1A, 1B situation, which I think Leonard thrives in. Yeah. I don't think he's great as a 60-game starter, which would take away too many games from Jones. Yeah. I think you split them. Kind of like what you're doing right now with Dell and Jones, but I think Leonard's a much better upgrade to the goaltending than Dell is.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely he is. But I'm saying there's guys that are going, like I said, with like
Georgiev,
Lundqvist or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, he's done, guys. Let's not even go there.
Lundqvist is done.
Yeah, but regardless, for me, that's where I would go. I would go with that winger, scoring line winger first, and then kind of fill out the depth. Now, again, you lose a lot of guys like Goodrow, right? Melker's out right now; he'll be back. But then you've also got like a lot of the depth that's kind of coming in from the AHL, and they're not really panning out this season. Hopefully, that changes for next season. And like Kevin Kurz had said, good depth doesn't grow on trees, and people are finding that out with Barclay Goodrow, right? Mm-hmm. You were able to move him. He played 11 of 12, right? 11 of 12 positions.
Yeah.
So you don't find that guy in the NHL. Like he's a gem. Like that guy's he's a gem.
Speaking of that, what's his full name? John Leonard. Heard of that name? University of Massachusetts. He's getting Hobie Baker Award recognition.
Right.
That's a name to look forward to. That's from Jeff Facun, whatever.
Facun.
Yeah. Leonard is this is from Christopher Lindsay. Leonard's very exciting. Looking forward to have him up with the team. Leonard was a steal at the draft, and somebody said it. He's going to be the next Barclay Goodrow. That's what sparked me to say that. So probably another guy that's like that. Like, I don't know. Thank you, Joshua Basic. I'm butchering it, but thank you for the 1999. And all you did was put a Bitmoji. It said goal. Or am I not seeing it all?
Pair of characters sliding on the floor on his knees saying goal.
Yeah. That's what shows
up. That's literally what it's...
It doesn't show up on there, huh?
Thank you, YouTube.
You want to see it?
It's a sticker.
What?
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's beautiful. I like
nice.
that. Thank you for the 1999.
If you have a question, just let us know, and I'll read it off and not read that thing. Deuce's Shoeless is the one that said it. Leonard will come in next year and develop into the next Goodrow.
Okay.
He's the one that started that conversation, actually. I didn't scroll up enough. Angela Nunez, anyone think Patty should be brought back to match Gordie Howe's games played in San Jose? I think he comes back, and I think he comes back here.
Yeah.
I think it was a true rental. He's going to do what he can for Pittsburgh, which against the Sharks was nothing, and it's fantastic. But he'll come back, I think, and play at least another season. So there's our third line left winger, I guess, who could fill in at center.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. And he's not going to sign for as cheap as he was. He might be another probably $2 million, kind of like what Joe did this year. Probably a 1-year, $2 million contract. That'd be my guess for Patty. I mean, you know what you get with Patty. He doesn't miss games. He's going to be there every night.
You know, I just wonder if both Patty and Jumbo, if they've made enough money now. And they just want to play in San Jose. Obviously, they both just want to play in San Jose.
I think it might have to do with like their agents for one, which is Joe's brother. At least for Joe, it's his brother. But more of like kind of setting a market in a way. They can't go too low or it's going to mess up the market. So they kind of have to get a little bit higher than that. That's what I think.
Do they really care about the market though? Do they care?
No, but I think the Players Association would.
Okay.
It's more pressure from the Players Association setting a market. Otherwise, any 40-year-old is going to come out of retirement or, desperate to play and be like, I'll play for 700,000, 750, whatever.
I think they should anyway.
I don't know. It would.
They want a chance to win a cup. They're going to give the Sharks as much cap room as they possibly can. Don't you think?
That's my reasoning why I don't think they're going to sign for $1 million.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be a little bit higher just because they're going to get a little bit of pressure from that.
Okay. Didn't work with a very young and talented Kevin LeBanc, but that's cool.
I think we should have Dan Ruzanowski read our guests' last names on air.
Oh boy.
Blind.
Why is there
No
no
prep. No prep. Just first crack.
Is there another bad one in there? Not bad, but is
Couple
there another
corrections.
difficult one?
Patrick Kerbal. Hey guys,
No.
I know I've been MIF for a while, but my question is this: Are you at all concerned with the rookies getting injured, trying to prove their worth for next season by playing too hard? No, absolutely not. The worst injury they can get is what Tomas Hertl did, tore an ACL, and now that's 6 months, roughly, until they're back. End of the season is April 4th. 6 months from then is October 4th. So it's like right at the beginning of the season. So at most, they would miss training camp and maybe the first month.
Yeah.
And then they'd be back. But that's the worst case injury, basically. So no, they're fine. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
You?
Not really. You convinced me. I'm good. It's still you, buddy.
Don't adjust your camera. Your computer.
Were you expecting me to say something else about that? Is that why? I mean,
You want to hear something interesting about those plates in Vegas, Jay?
Sure.
From Andreas Madrigal again. I live in Vegas, and the Vegas plates are cheaper, a lot cheaper, than the other state of Nevada plates. That's why you see them everywhere.
Of course.
In Vegas, same goes for the Raiders and UNLV plates. So it's cheaper to get those than it is to not have them.
very interesting.
I guess I would have one too then.
Yeah.
We call that
Then cross it out.
corruption in California.
That's how they do business out in Vegas.
Yeah.
Bring back Jamie McGinn. Didn't he retire?
No.
Is he still playing?
Maybe I'm thinking of Wingles. Wingles is playing in like one of the European leagues or something. Yeah, I'm not sure where Jamie McGinn is actually.
Chris Tierney?
Bring back Chris Tierney?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
When's his contract?
You're talking about a guy that you could put at third line center and who can move up if there's an injury. Chris Tierney's a number one center, right? I mean, come on.
Just like Barclay Gaudreau was.
There you go.
Let me look up his...
I know. Honestly, I think that's a great call. I love Chris Tierney. I think he'd be great back on this team, right? Again, a guy that you can plug in at any center position, really. He was playing fourth. He was playing third, second. He only didn't play at first, and he played first in Ottawa. So this is a guy that I think he could play, a lot of minutes, a few minutes. He's kind of an everyman in terms of that center.
He's an RFA after this season.
RFA?
RFA.
Ugh.
Throw him a... No. It's not
Offer
worth
sheet?
it. It's not worth it.
I don't think
Because
you'd offer sheet him, but I think you could make a trade.
He's worth $2.9 million, so an offer sheet would be like too many picks that the Sharks just don't have. And not that Ottawa needs any more picks. It's so many picks. I'm looking at their page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 picks.
So what do you
in 7 rounds?
Yeah, they've got
Ottawa.
Well, they're going to trade a lot of those up, though.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Probably. Or
So-
trade him for next year or something.
Yeah. So what do you think Chris Tierney would cost? Maybe you guys can let us know. What do you think Chris Tierney would cost in terms of a draft pick or a prospect or something to that effect? Is he like a third?
Who is that?
Chris Tierney. Do you think you can get Chris Tierney for a third?
Depends on what his contract is. If he's already signed and has a good contract,
No,
it
I'm
might be
saying
worth more than if he...
he's an RFA. You
Right
don't want to
now?
offer sheet him. You want to
Right.
make a trade.
Right.
So do you think you'd have to give up a third to get him? Second?
I don't think a
Second
second.
high.
I think a third.
I think a third. Would the Sharks be okay giving up a third rounder for
To bring
Chris
him
Tierney?
back?
You know exactly what you're getting out of Chris Tierney. You know exactly what he brings. right? He's familiar with the system.
Nah,
he's familiar with the players.
He's gonna be salty about it.
Salty.
Kidding. That was joking.
He'll probably get a nice dinner from Eric Carlson though. I could see it. I'd like to see it.
Lundy asked, "Did I miss the Vegemite? We haven't gotten it yet.
We've not actually received it. It takes a while to get from.
Jay, have you checked the?
I get notifications. I have not gotten a notification for any shipments.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely let you know. We do have the smelling salts.
However, they're in my car, and we're both chicken. So it's.
You want to do it next week?
Maybe we'll do it next week.
We heard it would cause you to throw up, possibly.
It might cause us to throw up, possibly. So
I am on a very full stomach.
We're gonna have that right now. We're gonna have super producer Jason ready to go hit the button and make the screen.
Wrap the studio in plastic.
Can you real quick? Can you do the technical difficulties like really fast?
No, I'm gonna play the Dexter soundtrack.
Okay.
I'm gonna wrap everything in plastic.
Nice.
Lundy, thanks for the $1.99. Replace Jones with David Ayers.
Of course, yeah. No, that's what we said about earlier.
He's 42 years old.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's great.
I love when I hear old guys do cool stuff like that because they're older than
Gives
me.
you hope?
Yeah,
is that why?
Gives me hope. There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Because the Quakes, there's going to have an injury to a goalie, and they're going to say, does anybody here know how to play goal? And everyone's going to go, the slow stand up and the slow raise of the hand, right? That guy.
He's going to have like a hole in one shoe.
Scotty,
Old bald man with hole in shoe saves the day for the Earthquakes.
Scott K, I'm circling back to you. You wanted to talk about Patrick Marleau. We actually talked about him last week's live, so I'm going to guess that you missed it. So maybe you should hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Just saying. But Patrick Marleau got
all you're
traded.
Gonna do to promote it, man? Come on, hit it hard than that.
Hit the subscribe button harder than that.
Harder than that. Smash my keyboard. Or the mouse or whatever it is.
Patrick Marleau, we talked about it last week. Basically, we went over all the trades that the Sharks did, Marleau being one of them. He got traded for a third rounder that turns into a second if the Penguins win, and not for this draft, it's for next year's draft, correct?
Right.
So a decent return for a guy who most likely is going to come back over the summer and sign with the Sharks.
Anyway.
So he gets this chance to win a cup with the Penguins this year. And Sharks fans are kind of rooting for the Penguins now. Kind of rooting for the Penguins so that they get a better pick. Me, I'm like, nah. They've got enough cups. I don't want to see Pittsburgh win again. I just don't like them. I don't
want to root for Pittsburgh either, honestly. And, for me, the return, I think it's a great return for Patrick Marleau, for a 40-year-old who essentially wasn't signing with anyone else anyway. And all you had to do to get him on your team, you didn't have to trade anything. You didn't have to buy anybody out. You didn't have to spend. All you had to do is spend money, like maybe $500K through the course of the season. That's really all you had to do, and then you turn that into a third-round pick, potentially a second.
Yep.
That's awesome return. I love that return, and it works for both sides. See, I had somebody that had said on Twitter, I think it was what it was, where I was like, I think it's a smoking deal. The Sharks got a third-round pick for this guy, which is great. We didn't have to give anything up to get him in the first place. And someone was like, well, I think it's a good deal for both sides. Yeah, no, it's a good deal for both sides, but I'm just saying the Sharks didn't have to give anything. It works for Pittsburgh too. It's not like they're giving up the farm to get Patrick Marleau, right? So it's a good deal for them too. Don't get me wrong. I think it worked out for both sides really well. So
and we talked about this last week. The conditional picks kind of CYA in a way for GMs now, because now there's not really any winners or losers of trades. It kind of helps both teams.
Yeah,
nobody's trying to win over one anymore. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think the only time you'd really see a bad trade is probably an inexperienced GM who offers up something terrible, and the other GM goes, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, which is what I feel like the Taylor Hall trade was like.
What do they say in GM mode? I'll not look a gift horse in the mouth or something like that. And that's how you know, oh man, I gave this guy away, right? When it says that.
Yep. All right, Heed for Tierney. That'd be an interesting trade.
I'd do
it. Joshua Basic. I think you had corrected me. Did I say it right? I got to go back. Basic. Yeah. Do both you think that we will be above 500 by the end of this season? I'll tell you right now, the Sharks.
What's our record right now?
Right now, 28 wins, 33 losses, and 4 overtime losses.
Not above, will be a hair below. I think we'll be a hair below.
I could see them being one game above. But, I mean, it takes into account shootout wins and stuff, so it's just, when you get towards the end of the season, you see more games go to overtime. I feel like the last third of the season, guys are tired. They're not pushing as hard, or they're pushing hard to not lose.
I think those games might stand out more, and it seems like more games are going to overtime. Potentially. No stats to back that up, by the way.
Yeah.
Just me guessing.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like more games go to overtime for the end of the season.
The Sharks Reddit Discord, I want to plug them real quick.
Go for it.
I'm not even sure how they can really just search for Sharks Reddit Discord, and maybe, I don't know, or go in the Facebook groups, the Sharks Facebook groups, and ask about it. Somebody will be able to point you in that direction. But so this mythical land that I have no way of getting you to, they had this survey kind of thing where you guess how many goals the Sharks are going to have at the end of the season. You guess who's going to be the top assist getter, the point getter, goal getter, right? So there's all these different, are they going to win this games? How many points are they going to end up with? So actually we did that, or I did that rather. I don't know if you got a chance to
I did
fill
for
that out
the
or
month.
not.
I didn't see the one for the season.
There's a one for this coming month now. It's for the basically towards the end of the season.
I did it for February.
Okay, yeah. So you finished a little bit higher than I did in that one too. So good
I
job.
didn't even see.
Yeah, they post the results. Anyway, so you can fill this little survey out, and one of the questions was, how many points will they end up with? And I think I guessed like 76. So that's under 500.
That's low.
Yeah. Well, think about it.
Man, I think they'll be in the 80s.
If they win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, 500, right? That would mean they got 82 points, I guess. Right?
In the 80s.
So there you go. So that's
500. I think it'll be in the low to mid 80s.
So, but if it's mid 80s, that's over 500. And you think they're going to be over 500?
Like a game or two.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
I think they're going to be a hair below. I think that's 76 points.
I don't think it matters either.
No, it doesn't.
But
well, it does for placement, I guess.
well, yeah, I want them to finish as high as they can, even possibly making playoffs. It's not going to happen, but
Tell us in the
best
comments.
case scenario.
Tell us in the comments. Do you want the Sharks to finish as high as possible to try to make the Ottawa pick not a good opportunity to get a number one or a top 3 pick? Or do you want them to finish as low as possible so that Ottawa does get a really good pick, but LA and the Ducks and anybody else don't? Right? Who are you trying to play spoiler for? Dramatic zoom. Who are you trying to play spoiler for, right? Are you trying to play spoiler for the trade so that the trade doesn't look, quote-unquote, as bad? Or are you trying to play the spoiler for the guys that are in your Pacific Division so that you don't have to deal with this player for the next decade, 2 decades, whatever?
I mean, I guess if you had a better pick, better lower position, closer to 1, 2, 3, that means your second rounder is better as well, which the Sharks have.
That's true.
So, yeah, they'd lose out on whoever in the first round.
They're going to lose on that player anyway, right?
Right, but then they have their own and the Colorado Avalanche second-round pick.
Yeah. I've kind of changed my tune on this one a little bit. I'm almost leaning towards, let Ottawa have that first, get as low as you can at this point. Because then, like you said, your second's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, that makes it interesting. But they do have 2 second-round picks, which they could package together to get a better.
A higher second round pick package is a lot better than a lower second round pick, though.
Right.
So.
No, I mean to move up in the second round if they needed to. Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway.
Shibuya. Roll call.
Let's do a roll call. Tell us where you are watching from and how you found us. And Scotty K says, in all caps, my apologies. I am a subscriber, but I missed the last live. Dumpster fire, a new logo. You write in all caps, I'm going to say it in all caps. Sorry.
That's like our aunt. No punctuation either, though.
Yet again, another Scott K. Dumpster fire, a new logo.
Okay, all right. We got it.
Roll call in all caps, please.
Yes. No, don't. Only if Aaron is not going to be reading them out, then that's fine.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yep. Scotty K, thanks. You just said, Aaron, the shine off your head makes you seem brighter than you really are.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Slam. Just kidding. You're not that bright. Boom. Another one. Anyway.
Where's the timeout button here? Let me see.
Come on, moderator.
The room shall decide.
The room shall decide. All right. I like that.
The tribe has spoken.
Just.
Well, now
Anything
what?
else? Anything else?
I
Are we
caught
off
up.
the rails already?
I pretty much caught up. So
Okay, good.
what else should we talk about here?
I don't
in the
know. I
live?
think we've actually, if we look at the clock here, we've gone for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So we're gonna wrap up soon, but yeah. Oh, I'll read one out. Almost Talented. It's a great name. Basel, Switzerland. They're watching from Basel, Switzerland right now.
I've been there.
Should be Carnival right now.
Is that where Joe Thornton's wife's from?
She's from Switzerland.
Sweden. Yeah.
Whatever. No regrets.
Yeah. No regrets.
Anyway, someone
Become
wanted to
a
know.
part.
Timo had a goal and assist. Is it
Yeah.
time to put the clock up?
No, and we addressed that earlier.
No.
He said no. I kind of felt like,
One game does not make it go back.
The time we had it down, he got a hat trick. That was one game, and then we pulled it back up. Now it's a
Right.
hat trick,
He had a
but
goal
that's
and
3
assist.
points versus 2 points.
Right.
It's not that far off.
I think he had 3 goals and an assist in that game.
Oh, did he?
He had 4 points.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was time.
That was a phenomenal. Yeah, then that's team time.
Yep.
Phenomenal job.
Lundy, get on with it.
Yes, get on with it.
Yes, get on with it.
We never said we were professional people. Okay,
We're
We
very
never said that.
professional. We're very professional.
Yeah, look at the polos. We're professionals. Come on.
The paint's coming off though.
Oh, I did. I'll
If
talk
we
about
were
this.
amateurs, would we have polos
I was at an event tonight for the Sharks Foundation.
The Sharks?
Yes.
from Boston?
Right.
Okay.
It was a great event. It was actually all of the broadcasters were serving beers at Happus Brewing in Willow Glen. So it was pretty cool. So I got to talk to Brett Hedican a little bit. He actually served me 2 beers, which was nice.
Beauty.
And then
And then it
Dan-
cut you off.
no, you didn't cut me off. Dan was there. Randy was there. Jamie Baker was there. Got to see all of them and say hello.
Was Kendall there? Because I saw there was.
I didn't see her.
Okay, no, I saw 2 blonde women that were on that picture that they had, but
Yeah.
one
I
of
think
them
they
was
work
fully
there.
turned and one of them was sideways. So maybe they were just
Yeah.
okay. I thought maybe one of them was Kendall, but I just couldn't see
No,
their
they're
face.
actual real bartenders that work
They
there.
knew what they were doing
Yeah.
and were trying to
Yeah.
good.
Helping out the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that picture, like Randy's like kind of like smiling or whatever, and there's this one guy who's just kind of like looking at me like this, and I'm like, those 2 don't match up. It's almost like they like cut one to paste it in because the one guy was staring off like this, and Randy was just like smiling like directly right at him. It's like, Randy's going, man, make up your mind, dude. Like, what are you doing? Let's go. It's beer. Pour one and drink it. Jeez, you know. Anyway. But yeah, so it was a good event then. You were
Good event.
Yeah.
It was a little fundraiser for Sharks Foundation. It's actually for I think it's I forget what the acronym is, but it's an extension of the Sharks Foundation for young professionals.
Okay.
So they were kind of, I think it might have even been their first event. So
Cool.
they're kind of a newer board on that. We also have some other things to promote or help promote. There's a game coming up in a week. I want to say it's on the 8th.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
gamer?
It's the gamer one. So if you are a gamer, which we do have some of you guys in here,
Yeah.
they're doing their first gamer game. Is that right? They're doing a tournament before the Sharks game.
Yes.
At the Sharks game.
Now they're
where
doing 3 different games or something though, right?
They're doing a tournament, I
Yeah.
believe. And for the finals of the tournament, you're gonna be playing, I think, on the jumbotron in between periods.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was kind of the.
It's a LAN party.
I'm down. Used to do those all the time. Those were fun.
Thanks.
But yeah, so
Anyway, there's
We're gonna
Twisted Wrister Hockey is the one that reached out
yes,
to
thank
us.
you. There you go. Twisted Wrister. Yeah.
Okay,
we're
I'll
gonna
put on the
play
details
Overwatch.
here. The tournament is at 10:30 a.m. It's on Sunday, March 8th. Free play is at 4 p.m. and the Sharks game starts at 7.
Does it say what they play?
Yeah.
NHL.
One of them's NHL 20.
Oh, NHL.
Then they got 2 other games. I don't remember what they had. There was 2 other games they listed.
Paul can be on my Overwatch team.
No, I'm not.
They're doing an NHL 20 tournament with a
Overwatch.
sweet prize pack, including a Zamboni ride.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Because the driver will be, playing goalie.
And the finals will be broadcast on the scoreboard.
Okay, that's what it is. The finals get broadcast on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can buy a ticket for this.
It's still pretty cool. Yeah. And I know we've got a couple guys that game with us. I know, like, say, Nick and that guy night, or that dude night, I think is
Yeah.
the name. Yeah.
So tickets are $50, but that's including your ticket to the game as well.
Yeah.
So you can get in, you can play, maybe you can get to the finals and win that Zamboni ride. We're going to do a little spotlight on that this week.
Yeah.
And it'll come out later this week, so you get a little bit more information on it. And we'll put the links in there for you.
There was one other thing to promote too, wasn't there? I know there was the game, but then there was another event of some
That was
sort.
today's event.
Oh, that was the...
Right.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
never mind.
So that's not happening.
Okay. Well, that's happened.
Right,
Sweetie.
it already happened.
So
Right.
that's done now. It's just the one thing. Anyway, we good?
If people want to know more about that gaming night, they can find out on SanJoseSharks.com.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know what? I'll post the link right now,
Perfect.
and then I'll take you to it.
Okay.
How about that? I'll put it in the group chat right now.
Yeah, Scott K asked.
Yep.
Cool.
I should have just done that originally. Boom. There you go.
All
So
right.
there is the link.
Good to go.
All right. Professional-ish.
Professional-ish?
From Lundy.
Oh, come on. No, we're not.
You should see all the duct tape I have keeping the show together.
One last question. Sanchez 32. We're going to end on this.
Sorry, there's literal, like, zip ties somewhere over here. But anyway, go ahead.
Last question we're going
Yeah.
to end on. From Sanchez 32, what's the best thing we can take away from this season? It's a good one to end on.
That we can take away from this
Yeah.
season?
What's the best thing we could take away from the season? What's the bright... Show some light at the end of the tunnel. What's the best thing that happened
Okay,
this season?
the best thing that happened in this season was Mario Ferraro for me. Phenomenal talent on the blue line, guy that's getting NHL experience. And yes, it's a losing season, but it's good to get that NHL experience right now and to come back stronger for the next season. So for me, Mario Ferraro is that shining star, that diamond in the rough of this season, if you will. So I'm not sure if that's the entirety of my answer, but yeah, I think Mario Ferraro has been the guy that has been just phenomenal to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think Mario Ferraro is obviously I'd say the MVP is not the right word.
Yeah.
Like the Calder. The
Yeah.
Sharks' own Calder
Yeah,
trophy.
yeah.
Their best rookie. He's the best thing, the brightest spot that the Sharks look fine on the blue line, and unfortunately it made Brendan Dillon kind of expendable
Right.
at the same time. But it's good to know that we got him on the blue line and probably for the foreseeable future. Another bright spot, since you already took the one I was going to take.
Sorry.
I would almost say Martin Jones playing better in the last couple weeks. Like, he's getting revived. I feel a little bit
Yeah.
more comfortable going into next season that he's stuck as our starter. Maybe we can bring in someone as a 1A, 1B. I'm a little bit more excited about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, in 2 weeks he has 2 shutouts. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
His numbers are improving, and he's looking better and more comfortable. And I mean, as someone pointed out, he's a systematic goalie.
Mm-hmm.
He's one that's very good at positioning.
Exactly.
So when you have a good system for it, it'll work. The Sharks are going to change their system next year for sure.
Yeah.
I think if they move Burns, it would help even more because there's less turnovers and coming back at him. So I think that's kind of a bright spot for me.
Okay. I think it's a bright spot on like the last couple weeks. We'll see how he ends the season, and then that could be a bright spot for me too.
Yep.
So we will see. However, we already asked you guys to do this, and hopefully didn't break your mouse in the process. But if you hit that subscribe button, you will know exactly when we go live for more of these fun comment and reaction interactions, whatever you want to call them. We really enjoy doing this with you guys, and of course, you guys make this possible. So if you enjoyed this, even if you didn't, please hit that subscribe button, and we'd love to have you join us the next time, and the next time, and the next time. So there's that. Also, remember to hit the bell because that tells you that gives you the notifications to let you know when we are going live. And when we have other shows that are coming out as well. Last thing is on the website, thefinfactor.com, there's that 3 little lines in the top corner. Hit that. It says support the show. That's what you're doing. If you go ahead and check out our store over there, we have shirts, we have hats, we have stickers. The shirts are phenomenally soft. The hats are really good quality. We didn't skimp on those. And the stickers are, well, stickers. But anything you do purchase over there does help out with the show, keeping the lights on. We are going to upgrade this, hopefully before or during maybe before season 3 starts. I would think. I would hope.
Right, producer Jason?
Left, not right. Okay. So anyway, we do appreciate that, and for the folks that give us super chat money, again, we do appreciate you doing that as well. That certainly does go a long way in help supporting the show. But for who is it that gave us the 1999? One of those. forget the name, but thank you so much for that.
That was Joshua Bassich.
Joshua for
That's a new
another
one.
10, 5, somewhere in there.
That was 1999.
Picked up a shirt.
Yep.
Right. So, again, we do appreciate it though. So thank you so much for that. If you guys do pick up our swag, feel free to take a picture, kick it our way. Very good.
Perfect.
We are done. We're going to get to recording episode number 80 right now. So for super producer Jason, I'm Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And we will see you guys
on Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.